Welcome back to the mess, everyone. So in this video, I want to talk to you about Colombia because it is coming up in 4 weeks as of recording this video, just a little over 4 weeks, and I'm getting real angsty, but like in a good way. I'm getting really excited. So I want to talk to you guys about what we plan to do while we're there, where we plan on going, all that stuff. And then I want to get your input on content ideas that maybe you would like to see. I want to make as many videos there as I can. I want to give you guys as much content as possible while we are out there in the flippin' rainforest. So yeah, like every single day we're going to be recording, not just vlogging the entire trip, but we're also going to be shooting individual videos that I will upload to YouTube. So I'm going to go through them with you guys right now. The entire trip is going to be vlogged. I'm probably going to release a documentary of us traveling there. I have a name for it in mind as well that I'll announce at some point. And I'm debating, like, well, should I release the documentary first and then the individual videos, or should I release the videos and then the documentary? I don't know quite yet. But yeah, I do want to make like a little short film for you guys of our trip there. And then also kind of bite-sized, shorter, like 10, 15 minute long or shorter videos on YouTube that just kind of focus on one specific thing. So let's just get into my notes here, hold on. As well as creating the documentary and vlogging and everything. I call it a documentary. It's gonna be like a little bit of a documentary, a little bit of like a vlog, if you guys kind of get my drift. Guys, this child cries all day, every day. Morning, noon, night, twice on Sunday. And it's been like this since June. Okay, so these are individual videos that I plan on making. This obviously is contingent on what kind of plants we see and what kind of content we get. So, for example, if we see a queen anthurium, I'm gonna make a whole video just on analyzing the ecosystem, the microclimate in this area that these queen anthuriums are growing. So for example, we would measure the light. We would analyze to see what it's growing on. Is it growing on a tree trunk? Is it growing on a rock? Is it growing on a fallen tree? Is it growing, you know, some plants grow by streams. Is it in a wet area, a dry area? What is the humidity? What is the temperature? Are there any signs of fungus, or, you know, good or bad fungus? Is there any sign of like fungal disease on the leaves? How healthy does the plant look? How big is the plant? How robust is it? Are there any insects that are feeding off of the plant? Sometimes ants will colonize on philodendrons, so are there any ants that are on the plants? Like, we're also going to be looking for Philodendron patriciae. You know, so if I find a really popular, well-known aroid, I'm going to set up the camera and we're going to do like a whole, not necessarily a care video, but we're going to highlight that particular plant and analyze, okay guys, if we want to understand how to care for this plant in our homes, we have to understand what it likes in its natural environment. And how can we either replicate that or compensate for that? That child sounds like a seagull. Do you hear that? And by the way, don't come for me in the comment, oh, why are you picking on that baby? Just listen, I will drag you to the depths of the earth because I don't care about children, okay? This is why I stopped being a child a long time ago. Onward, friends. So we are going to measure the light that popular plants get in nature. I did this in Panama and that video did really well and people found it very beneficial, and one of the clips that I clipped on Instagram got like, was it 100,000 views? It went like mini viral, which was awesome. So I'd love to get some more light reading content. So analyzing the light levels received by aroids, orchids, bromeliads, and air plants. I feel like those plants are popular enough where I can make videos checking on the light levels that those plants are getting in nature, because when it comes to especially bromeliads and air plants, you know, you want those bright, beautiful colors, you want those flowers, so we'll analyze all of that. Orchids, you need to have adequate light for orchids to bloom. So we will measure the light for orchids. Also, different orchids require different amounts of light. That's another thing. And aroids. Aroids are seen as like these low light plants, but really to thrive and to get big, they love a lot of bright indirect sunlight. So we will be doing that all over again and more. So next one, how aroids grow in nature. So I put, how are they dispersed? Do they grow in colonies? Do they grow as isolates? Is it just one plant growing on a rock, or is it like a whole colony? Is it a whole bunch of plants? Are they dispersed everywhere? What surfaces do they grow on? You know, rocks, trees, you know, on the tree trunk or the tree branch, in the ground. How big are they getting? Are they staying small where they are? Are they getting big? What is their maturity looking like? How low or how high do they grow? So are, you know, some philodendrons, they grow really, really high up, and then some grow, you know, more like eye level to the point where you can like touch the leaves. A lot of anthuriums are either terrestrial or epiphytic, but even the epiphytic anthuriums are quite low to the point where you could like I said, you could touch the leaves, you can get a picture with them. You know, they're growing like these big monster leaves of these anthuriums growing on the sides of trees or on cliffs. And you can get right up to them and like feel their leaves and you know, like you can like get right next to it and get a picture and show everyone how big the leaf is. So yeah, we're gonna analyze all of that. So that'll be the second video. Oh, we'll also be measuring the foot candles. By the way, guys, because I got some criticism about using foot candles and not a par meter. Foot candles, first of all, the reason I use foot candles is because it's the most common light measurement that we use. And foot candles, like the foot candle meter or lux, you can convert those. Those little meters are cheaper, much cheaper than the par meters. Even though the par meters are more specific and a little bit more accurate, they are expensive. So yeah, we're gonna measure the light both ways and we'll satisfy all the trolls. So there's the seagull again. Next, we're going to analyze fungus on aroids. We're going to highlight how plants combat disease. We are going to consider the rain patterns, which is really important. You know, so for example, in the cloud forests, even though it's so wet and just so like, it's like 100% humidity, the air is so thick because you're in the clouds. Like it looks like, it looks like gorillas in the mist. No, it looks like the movie, The Mist. The Stephen King movie. But yeah, we're gonna consider rain patterns. So does it rain at night or does it rain in the morning? Does it rain in the afternoon? You know, when do the plants get watered? Because that plays a big part in when are they able to dry off? When are the leaves able to kind of shed that water? A lot of water means a lot of potential for fungal diseases, bacteria, all that stuff getting on the leaves, getting in the soil, getting in the roots, attacking the plants, rotting the plants out. So when it rains is really important as well. Insects that pollinate these plants won't be flying around as much when it's raining. So sometimes certain scents of the inflows are emitted, or sometimes they aren't receptive except for certain times of the day because they're relying on those pollinators. Also in that video, I'll be defining mycorrhizae, which is essentially the symbiotic relationship between fungus and plant roots. So we always think about the negative impact that fungus has on plants, but some fungus has a positive impact on plants. So I'll be highlighting the important relationship between fungus and plants. Next one, we are going to analyze pests on plants. So we're going to be checking for herbivory. There's a lot of leafcutter ants out there that will skeletonize entire leaves. Are they going after the new growth? Are they going after the old growth? They tend to go after the new growth, but we're gonna see, like, you know, are they going after just the new growth, the old growth? What's going on? Are there insects hiding underneath the leaves that we can't see? And how do plants combat it? I'm gonna be going over kind of the science of what plants do in nature to fight off pests. I'd also like to analyze the rainforest soil, which means measuring and testing the pH highlighting the importance of acidic or alkaline soils that certain plants require, highlighting the lack of nutrients in the rainforest soil from the abundant rainfall, because essentially there's just so much rainfall, it just washes out all the nutrients. We'll be discussing how plants absorb nutrients from the top leaf litter, and even dead animals on the forest floor. Basically anything that is decomposing. Anything that is decomposing, the plants can use as nutrients. So do all plants have the potential to be carnivorous? Obviously we know about carnivorous plants, but if a jaguar dies at the base of a tree where a philodendron's growing, and that philodendron is absorbing nutrients from that decomposing corpse, is that now a carnivorous plant? Interesting things to think about, guys. Interesting things to think about. Things to ponder over, guys. Also highlighting how rainforest plants grow roots out more so than down in search of nutrients. So basically the plant, the trees, all of it, they don't really grow their roots down because there's really no nutrients down there. They grow them out and they grow them wide. So we can talk about how wider pots might be more beneficial to your aroids than deep pots. Because that's one thing that I have noticed in my collection. My anthurium roots and philodendron roots, they really like to spread out. I don't really see them growing down a whole lot. In fact, a lot of times I see them growing up, like in search of some more oxygen maybe, some more air circulation, I'm not sure, but it's very interesting. They don't grow their roots down. They don't grow the roots down at least as much as they grow them out, if that makes sense. One interesting thing, we see these big philodendrons, big anthurium leaves, and they're epiphytic, they're growing on the sides of trees. How do they get so big? Because if they're not getting any nutrients from the forest floor, that leaf litter, where are they getting all their nutrients? How are they getting the energy to get that big? So how do epiphytic aroids feed to get huge? How do they capture that kind of energy? So we'll be talking about hemiepiphytic roots that reach down to the forest floor, absorbing nutrients from the algae, and moss that grows on their leaves and roots. Did you guys know that? We're gonna get into it in like the actual videos, but just to give you a little bit of a taste of what we're gonna be talking about. So all the moss and algae that you'll see growing like in your terrarium and stuff, out in the wild, when you see leaves that are covered in algae and moss, it's actually a symbiotic relationship. That's why the leaf doesn't die, because the leaf is actually absorbing energy from the moss and the algae, and then the moss and the algae are able to photosynthesize. So they're living in harmony, essentially. It's mutually beneficial. How they absorb nutrients from decomposing organic debris. So basically just like, dead leaves or, dead, dried up caterpillars that are falling down like on the ground near the roots, or at the side of a tree or something. They can absorb nutrients from that stuff. Also, brighter light levels in the higher understory. So naturally, if you think about it, especially the philodendrons, as they grow vertically and they get exposed to brighter and brighter light levels, they're able to capture more light. They're able to produce bigger leaves. So that's one example. So that one I'm looking forward to. This one, I really hope that we find a nice population of high elevation bolate anthuriums, because I would like to do a highlight video / care video on the high elevation, cool growing species of those super bolate, bumpy leafed, like bumpy textured aroids, primarily anthuriums and a few philodendrons. So we're going to analyze the day-night temperatures, which can get as low, guys, as like 50 Fahrenheit into the 40s. They're growing, I think, some of them grow like 9,000 feet above sea level. It's crazy. What surfaces do they grow on? I believe they're primarily terrestrial because they just love moisture. They don't really like to dry out a whole lot, but we'll be analyzing all of that. Like, are they growing on slopes? Are they growing just like in the ground? Are they growing on rocks, trees, whatever? Do they grow in colonies? Or are they growing as isolates? What is the local humidity? Is it really 100% humidity? Is it 90% humidity? Is it 70% humidity? Like, what's going on out there? We always talk about humidity. Oh, guys, you know what? I gotta do a video. I just thought of something. We'll also be measuring the foot candles that these bolate anthuriums get, but also how important is humidity for Aroids. Yeah, so you know what, we'll do a video highlighting that, because everyone talks about like, oh, like on Facebook when our plant is struggling, and all the comments are, oh, give it more humidity. Oh, what's the humidity? Oh, it needs higher humidity. Oh, it needs more air circulation. Oh, it needs more humidity and air circulation. I mean, yes, those two things are important, but are they really that important where like that's the make or break? Because I got guys, I got Anthurium dressleri growing here in the north, which, by the way, I will do a care video on dressleri very shortly. I have 3 other dressleries that look like absolute shite, but this one looks the best. So this one is in my grow tent right now. By the way, we're not going to see these in Colombia. They're native to Panama. We'll eventually go back to Panama to find dressleri and do all this over again, and Pap and Cunayalense and all that stuff. Carla Blackie, I'm going to try to find that when I take all these trips and I go back to Panama, Ecuador, go to Costa Rica, southern Mexico. I want to see Clarinervium in habitat. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. But yeah, guys, I mean, like, can we grow this out of the rainforest? So yeah, I'll be doing a video on dressleri very soon. Because guys, like, I was able to grow those in the summertime here where it's like 45-50% humidity, and they grow just fine. It's only when it gets to like 35-25% humidity in the wintertime where leaves come out like with holes in them, or they'll get a little bit crispy and stuff, and then I'll put them in the grow tent with a little bit higher humidity. But if you're somewhere where you can manipulate the humidity in the winter so it's a little bit higher, or if you're in an area that's not super dry where it stays like around 50% humidity or higher, then you probably can grow dressleri pretty successfully. Then you probably can grow dressleri pretty well, and a lot of other supposedly fussy aroids. So yeah, we'll do a video on humidity. We'll analyze the humidity in all these different areas. We'll see what things are growing there and all that stuff. Also, like other videos that are not plant related, we're going to a capital of the Choco region, which is like a big old rainforest essentially on the west coast. And it's South America's black capital. It's like 99% black population, and the rest is like indigenous. And really interesting history, so I probably will just, you know, just because I think it'll be fun to learn about it, I'll probably do a video on that after I come back. That capital is called Quibdó, by the way. And yeah, that's all I have right now. So if you guys have any ideas for content, or, you know, things that you want to see, let me know in the comments, please. And I will put a map, I guess, here of where we're going to be going. I won't get too specific as to where we're going, just because if we do find anything, I don't really want to disclose the locality. Like if we see Queen Anthurium, I'm not gonna say exactly where we found it. They were poached like crazy a few years ago, and they don't really occur that abundantly in nature as it is. So like I wouldn't say exactly what road we found it off of or anything like that. Or like Patriciae is pretty endemic to a certain area. As far as we know. So I won't get too specific with the actual locations, but here is the overall itinerary. We're gonna start in Bogota, which I believe is the capital. That is like a high elevation city where, I mean, it's like 60-50 degrees Fahrenheit, and then sometimes it can dip into the 40s. So it's a very cool city. Because it's way up in the mountains. So hopefully we'll find some of those the belate anthuriums up there in the mountains. And then after that, we're going to head out west. We're gonna look for crystallinum. You know, hopefully if we find that, you know, I'll do a highlight video on crystallinum. We are going to head near Medellin, which is another big city. But because Colombia has these weird rules about traffic and congestion, where if the license plate ends in a certain number, you can't drive in the big cities on certain days at certain times. So to avoid any fines, we're gonna stay in Rio Negro, just outside of the big city. And we're going to go to a national park because there were a lot of iNaturalist.com hits in that area that I thought were really interesting. We're going to look for Metallicum. We're going to look for Quermelense. We're actually going to go to Quaramel. I don't know if they call it Quaramel or Caramel. I'll have to ask our tour guide. We're going to meet a tour guide at the very end. But we're going to go to the region that Quermelense is named after, which is kind of cool. We're then going to head south to a really cute little town called Jardín, which is garden in Spanish. And there's going to be some really cool things there. Then we're going to head out west into the Choco region. We're going to go to Quibdó. We're going to drive south, look for Patricier, look for other things. That's going to be lowland, so it'll be hotter. Hopefully it won't rain quite as much, but we'll just have to see. I mean, their wet and dry season there is kind of all over the place because of climate change these days, you know, last few years. So we'll just see what happens when we get there. But I am really excited to see what we find just like off of the road. I mean, that's just going to be awesome. So we're going to travel through Choco. We're going to stay on the main road. We're not going to venture too far off of it because some areas of Choco are not the safest. Then we're going to head back. I have to coordinate myself. There's north, there's south, there's... Which way is California? West! We're going east, guys. We're going back this way. We're going east. And we are then going to kind of curve and then go back down. We're going to do a stop as we do that little curve, that little bend in the road, and then we'll eventually end in Cali, which is one of their other big cities. And there's going to be a tour guide down there that I paid for the last 2 days. And I told my friend who's going to be with me the whole time, my friend Corlina, I told her, Corlina, if we get to the very end of these 2 weeks and you're like, Jake, I love you, but I've had it with you and your freaking leaves, I'm done. I got us a hotel with AC, because not all of them have AC, with a pool, which I don't think any of them have, breakfast, room service, just all the first world things you can possibly want. Yeah, so if she decides to just chill for the last 2 days at the hotel, I'll be with a local guide who sells plants locally, so it would be cool if I could buy from him and kind of, you know, bring some plants back. He doesn't import though, so I'll have to like see if I can sneak them into my luggage. Guys, when I went to Panama, I brought this back. It's a coati. I think that's how you say it. I found it in low tide. It was nasty and disgusting. I had to rip all the skin off, but yeah, there it is, and I glued it all back together. And they didn't find it. I just like stuffed it in a bunch of like socks and shirts, and yeah, they were none the wiser. So I might buy a couple of things from his nursery if he has some plants that are not offered, you know, in the States, or like from Ecuagenera and stuff. I try not to buy from Ecuagenera these days anymore, guys. Once in a while I do, but you know, not as much anymore, just because their plants are allegedly they're all poached. Allegedly. But I mean, guys, all you have to do is just stop and think about it. Okay, you have an Ecuadorian nursery, like right there, like in the prime rainforest where all these plants grow, and you just have to stop and think to yourself, I wonder where they're getting all these plants and how are they able to sell them so cheap? Like, how are they able to sell Warchianums and Paps and, you know, for like 10, 20 bucks? Because they're allegedly poaching them en masse, and I don't really like that. So yeah, the Ecuadorian nursery is, you know, I try to not do business with them anymore. I mean, it's not as bad as like complete deforestation, but you know, and this is all alleged. I'm not accusing anything. This is, you know, you hear stuff. You hear stuff. I've seen photos of piles and piles of plants just ripped out of the ground and thrown in the back of a truck, and it's kind of depressing. So, yeah, if I can support a small local business there, I'd rather do that. You know, because he grows his own seeds and stuff, apparently. So I'll also do a tour of his garden if he allows it. you know, with his permission, if he decides he doesn't want the cameras in his property, then obviously I'm going to respect that. But if he does allow the cameras in, I will show you guys his garden, because I can just imagine it's probably beautiful. I mean, these are plants he's growing in his backyard that literally grow in his backyard. They literally grow like in the backcountry of his homeland. Well, is he from Colombia? I don't know. He's based in Cali. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's basically the itinerary. Yeah, and then I'll do like hotel reviews and stuff, you know, and I'll say, oh, I recommend this place, don't recommend that place, you know. And also, guys, if you get inspired and like, oh, I want to go to Colombia, feel free to talk to me in the comments, like on Instagram. Just because Colombia is a country where some places are very safe, and that's where we're going. But then some places not so much. And you can very easily just turn off of the main road, travel an hour or two, and then get stopped by like the cartel. So, yeah, there are certain areas that I was told, Jake, don't go there. Like, I know you want to see that plant that I took a picture of and posted on Facebook, but don't go there because I'm not going back there. That's what some people have told me. So I was like, okay, all right, I won't go back there. Oh well. But I do want to go back because we're probably not going to see Veitchii. I'd like to go back and see Veitchii, but this time we're going to try to find Workianum, Patriciae, Crystallinum, Magnificum. We're going to try to find like the corrugatums, like the Anthurium corrugatum. Is there a philodendron corrugatum? I don't know if that's in Colombia, but I'm pretty sure Anthurium corrugatum or similar looking species are near Bogota. Yeah, I'm really excited, guys. So yeah, everything's booked. The whole Colombia Trump thing in the news has put me and my friend on edge, because now we're like, is there going to be a travel ban? Because he mentioned the words travel ban, so now we're like, is our flight going to get canceled? Everyone just cross your fingers and toes for us that our president can act like not a damn fool for the next 4 weeks, and we can get there and get back safely without a hitch. So yeah, that's America for you. We have a child running our country. All right, I said what I said, but I don't think I have any Trump supporters watching. And if you are a Trump supporter, I don't hate you. I just hate the guy you voted for, that's all. I'm done, you know, villainizing people that voted for this person or that person, or, you know. It's like, I can't be bothered. We got our lives to worry about, guys. All right? We got our lives to worry about. We have things, personal things that we gotta deal with. We can't constantly be fighting with trolls on the internet, which a lot of them are like, what are they called? Bot farms in like Russia and China, which are like trying to divide America. That's like a thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look that up. I don't know much about it, but from what I understand, they're like literally Russia and or China. Either one or the other or both literally have like whole buildings and facilities that just try to get Americans to fight on social media, just to rip us apart. So literally they're infiltrating us, and it's not good. So like we just have to stop fighting. Yes, it's polarizing these days, but you know, let's just come together and geek out about plants, guys. Let's just go and just record and photograph some awesome leaves. Can we just all agree that everyone loves leaves? Well, I guess some people don't like plants. Get them! Alright, guys, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Ask any questions and I'll answer them. Yeah, I guess that's it. And above all else, if you have any ideas for like videos, content you want to see, let me know in the comments. And if there are, you know, if there's like a common interest that I didn't hit, I will definitely consider that for the trip. So let me know what you guys want to see while we are there. Or just like for the vlog in general, if you want to see a certain thing or you want to, you know, whatever. Or if you're curious about something in Colombia or something about aroids, I don't know. Just let me know. And yeah, I'll get cooking for you. So yeah, this has been Jake, aka Plant Gay for Life, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, bye-bye. Also, I recently changed my username, guys. I'm still Plant Gay for Life. It may be temporary, but I did change my username to Jake and Zara just so people like know who I am. I'm not just like a character, I'm like an actual person. And I don't know. I just kind of want to have my name on this. If this is going to be like a big part of my life going forward, like I want my name to be on it, you know? But my handle is still Plant Gay for Life. I'm still Plant Gay for Life on Instagram, which I'm very active on. But my username is Jake and Zara. So that's also my music, like on Spotify and YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that's also called Jake and Zara. So I'd like there to be some symmetry with basically anything I do. Like if I do music, or if I do plants or something else, like it's all Jake, it's all me. Like I put my name on it, you know. Like I want it to be a Jake and Zara production, not a Plant Gay for Life production. Even though it is a fun name and people in the community know me as Plant Gay, I'm pretty sure I'll stay Plant Gay. But yeah, that's why the name changed. Like, so the name hasn't changed, it's the username. So it may look like I've changed, but I'm still the same Plant Gay. I've debated, like, should I change it just to Plant Gay? I can't change the name, the handle to Plant Gay because somebody apparently already has Plant Gay, even though I checked and I can't find any handle that has Plant Gay, but YouTube won't let me change it to Plant Gay, and on YouTube, or on Instagram, I can't change the Plant Gay thing. Because like I've said before, there's like a ghost account that's Plant Gay and took it from me. I could have been the original Plant Gay, but I'm not. But it's what it is, so I'm Plant Gay for Life. Yeah. Also, I just kind of noticed that when I would comment on like live streams, like not plant related, just like live streams and stuff, and people would like see Plant Gay for Life, they wouldn't say the gay part. They'd just be like, "Hey, Plant Life," you know, or when they read my comment, and I just started thinking, like, do some people, like straight people who like don't hang out with gay people, like, do some people out there like still, like in America, still think that the word gay is like a slur? Like, it's not like I'm saying plant homo for life. You know, like, I didn't think it was that controversial of a name, but there are some people out there that I've noticed that like don't say the gay part. So I don't know. Maybe just to be less intimidating, I'll just go by Jake and Zara. But also, I'm still Plant Gay for Life for all of you guys. And also, if you search Plant Gay, my videos come up. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Bye-bye.